So this week we're in Tokyo. Yeah, I'm back in my second home in Tokyo. So we're out of the forest. We usually film by the fire. And we will have the 5D, 5-dimensional updates in section 2. And now we're gonna go directly into this week for your sign, filmed in Tokyo during Mercury retrograde. A lot of challenges communication-wise, a lot of love for us all if we dare to open up. Welcome to the show. Welcome to your sign. Hi there, Libra, and welcome to your modern shaman Maria and RainbowLand here with the weekly astrological intuitive forecast for the week that starts at the 26th of November and ends at the 3rd of December 2018. Here I am in Tokyo this week, as you can see, in a Japanese room. Something else than you're used to with the fire and the shaman part of it. And this week we are celebrating another round, the last time for a year, of Sun-Jupiter conjunction. That is the happy, lucky, optimistic constellation. And for you guys, Libra, it's going on in your communication sector, so this is gonna bring sparkles and extra energy and luck to your communication. So if there's any kind of planning you wanna do, or any kind of negotiation where you need to discuss things with other people, plan things with other people, communicate, then you will definitely benefit from this aspect and should definitely get this conversation done, even though we have Mercury, the planet of communication and the ruler of the third house in retrograde. It's a good time, even though, but it might be about something you already started, that you are reorganizing something, where you get some brilliant ideas, or because if you're new to astrology and don't know what a Mercury retrograde is, it is when we are being asked 3 times a year for 3 weeks, when this constellation happens, to put our view more inwardly and reconsider things, revise, reorganize, rediscuss plans, and it is a more introverted action, and the universe often demonstrates this thing being in your schedule, your collective schedule for your sign, by slowing down outward communication. For example, cutting off your means of communication like telephones, computers, means of transport as well, because communication and transport are both what Mercury is all about. But Mercury is also about organizing, daily planning, etc. So maybe things are being reconsidered here, like how you can structure your everyday communication in your life. Let's look upon the room instead of me while I am continuing with this week's horoscope. We're also going to go into astrology cards in about 3 or 4 minutes. 1 astrology card and 1 tarot card. So again, with this Sun and Jupiter in your everyday communication sector, it's about you getting ideas and being more productive. Of course, Mercury will give some difficulties, but revising things, the future will be better. So this is the time we can do that. Maybe you will improve your technology state, like how your technology works right now. It will be improved during this time. It can also be like you're getting a shorter distance to your work. I know that because I have a partner with this constellation, and he's going for that, trying to figure out a way to get that. As I said, it's communication, and it's movement as well. Maybe you're gonna get a faster internet. Maybe you're gonna get a new car, a new phone. Your bicycle will be prepared for winter or wherever you are. It can be positive, even though Mercury retrograde is known for miscommunications. So remember to be clear. But Mars is in your work and your health sector since the 16th. You've had more drive and determination to be more productive, and the energy you put into things are giving you something in return. So Mars here is very good for your health. And Mars and Jupiter is Mars is in a square with the Sun and Jupiter, so that can definitely cause some frustrations. You want things to be flowing, be in a flow, so that they will be appreciated. But you also want things to work on a practical level. Mercury is also the ruler of Virgo, which is more practical things. You want them to flow like in your day-to-day life. And then there is Saturn and Pluto in your 4th house, focusing upon your family life, your family situation, how to, maybe something needs to go out and end here, like you get a new house, a place you live, a new way of being with your family, or just your personal feelings in general. But Mars and Saturn is going to have again this week still this nice aspect where they are in a nice sextile. So if you have attention to details and keep the lines of communication open, Mars will improve something here with Saturn. But you just have to be realistic and pay attention to the details. Look, like how here they have the legs inside the floor. So this is a traditional Japanese room where you there see that the walls are made of paper. So I could literally just put my hands through it and it would just... You could also enter these houses rather easily if you were a thief, but since there's not much criminal action going on here in Japan, it's not the case. I'm thinking like that because I think someone would do that in Denmark, where I am from. Anyways, the Mercury retrograde forces us to listen to also what other people feel, in this case for you. So, but if, you know, with the retrograde here in this sector, 3rd house, there's people gossiping, talking behind your back, don't tune into it, and avoid also you doing it about other people. Of course, don't share confident knowledge to someone you don't know very well. Maybe they won't keep it. So your positive sense is helping you communicate here with the Sun Jupiter conjunction in the 3rd house. So use your communication and your good intuition and mind to balance things out if they get a little complicated this week. Let's draw the cards of the week for the Libras. So card of the week for the Libras. Astrology card of the week first for the Libras. That would be, let's see, astrology card of the week. Oh, Black Moon Lilith. Now that is interesting. Black Moon Lilith matches my dress. Let's just put it here. The Libras are often very aesthetic and notice the colors and clothes of people. Not always. They can be having many faces, but aesthetics are usually the Libra thing. So card of the week, tarot card of the week for the Libras. Let's see. Tarot card of the week for the Libras. What's this one? Oh my God, it's like this card. It's the 4th or the 5th time that I draw it, and it's so interesting because the light is really bad now. Let's get some. I'm sorry. I don't know why the light is bad. I think it's okay to see this. Yeah. So we have Black Moon Lilith. You can see. And then we have the 7 of Wands. So the 7 of Wands is a fire. And this is all the things that we have going on in Sagittarius, which is fire energy. Is communicating, getting your inner bitch goddess out. She is still, Black Moon Lilith is still in Aquarius. So this means that it's in your 5th house, where you are actually expressing your the fifth house is ruled by fire as well. Where Black Moon Lilith is a bit called the bitch goddess because she's the rebel that rebels against any kind of suppression, where she's not allowed, has not been allowed to express her female side. So even though if you're a man or a woman, still your inner feminine wanting to come out, and here she dares. She's not like Chiron wounded and more careful about how she says things. She just say it out bluntly, and she's in combination with the Seven of Wands. She dares to do so, and she'll be on top. There's no need to be worried about you finally expressing some things and saying it out in the open as a natural thing. Black Moon Lilith wouldn't hold back. She'll just say it like it is. She's in your fifth house of Sagittarius, no, of Aquarius, of course. Another air sign, your sister sign, so she's safe there. She has a good constellation to your sign, and then the fire indicate and being on top, it's Jupiter and Mercury and the Sun all being in Sagittarius. I mean, even though Mercury is in retrograde, he is definitely represented by going over, revising things. So maybe there's some things that you need to say and allow yourself to be a little bit of a bitchy. Now, I'm not saying you should be a bitch, but sometimes what other people consider us to be a bitch, even for a man, when you complain about something, there might be a reason for you complaining. And when we're talking about Libra, you don't just complain, just to complain. You complain when you need to complain. You complain when there's something that needs to be said. So you'll be able to handle that this week, and you'll stay on top, even though there might be some frustrations and some miscommunications and someone going against you. You'll manage to stay on top this week. Don't follow trends. Just a second. Follow your heart. See you in section 2. Thanks for watching, Libra. Welcome to section 2, 5D updates for you. So as I said before, Mars is in Pisces now, since the 15th of November. That is the 12th house collectively. And as we're talking about the 5D, and this is a program where we will every week go into how to upgrade and update your 5D, then prayer is something very important here. And for 5D, the 12th house is essential. So Mars being our actions, our motivation, getting things done with self-esteem, wanting to push forward, energy, then yes, of course, we need to talk about Mars and Pisces in regards to the 5D upgrade. With Mars and Pisces, we are less motivated to go after the 3D goals. We're more motivated to pursue the spiritual or more emotional drives during this cycle. And it's gonna go on until we reach January, where Mars is returning to Aries. So we should always try, or we could always try to take advantage of wherever a planet goes, and whenever a planet enters a certain field, there's certain doors that just opens that much easier. That's why I make these reports, for you to be notified about what you can take advantage of now. Our energy during a phase like this is more variable rather than straightforward, and also up and down. We dislike confrontation during this period, which is good, because Mars often gets into a battlefield. So we often put other people's needs ahead of our own during this cycle. So that is our more idealistic side that comes to the forefront. But prayer has also got to do with the 12th house. And why is it important to pray? And what is prayer? Well, a prayer keeps us connected with our higher selves, that knows which way we are meant to go, and thereby detaches us from our egos, the source of our desires being our egos and wishes. that are often disconnected with conscious and fully open contact with Source, Creator, Master, God, whatever you want to call it. We're reminded of what we came here to this planet Earth, this beautiful planet, to develop towards on the path. Well, if we surrender ourselves 100% completely, as we close our eyes and quiet our minds and say a prayer, you might have a fixed prayer, or you will have a prayer that is a prayer of your heart, coming from your heart. Maybe it's a prayer for someone else that you love to be in a better state or to get well. A prayer is always that much stronger when it comes from the true space of an open mind and open heart. Because if it stems from the ego, you will probably attract something that your ego needs and not your higher self, and that won't ever get you going any further forward. So of course, before finding out what you want to pray to, I mean, within different traditions, there are different prayers already handed to us if we need help. But it's a good idea to get to know that you're in contact with that side of yourself that you really want to move forward with, so that your prayer also get aligned with that. Let's say you choose to pray for that you can be less selfish and more selfless. It can also be that you pray for that you are less reactive and more responsive from the heart. It can also be that you want to go from restlessness into peacefulness, from darkness into light, or from heaviness to lightness. These would be the kind of prayers that would come from your higher self. These are the kind of prayers that our higher selves often wish for, because the higher self knows that if we make prayers like this, it's the same as getting fully into alignment with our higher selves. Because our higher selves are light, are peaceful, are selfless. That is the essence. What we are outside of our 3D bodies, our ego, our mind. I'm not saying that we should not use the mind. I'm just saying that there should be a balance, a natural balance. It is not natural for a tool to be in charge, and the mind is a tool we can use when we need it. We made it as us, as something that we identify with. But it is not. We can close the door and open it only when we need this tool. There are places where it's easier for us to connect with our higher selves. For instance, where I usually do the reports, the weekly reports, is in the nature, or where I have been doing it for the last months since I went away from Tokyo last time. So much easier, because in nature we are in harmony with ourselves, because it's natural there. Our heart beats naturally, our breath gets into natural alignment with all there is. Sometimes in the bigger cities, when we're around people who are also affected by the inevitable noise and vibrations coming from all sides, disturbing our natural harmony, well, the ego takes over so much more easy. This week, for the first week in a long time, I'm filming from Tokyo, but also here I can see the beauty. even though we have modern buildings, you can see the aesthetics and the beauty and how they're shaped, and the lights in the night. Find what is mysterious here. Find what calls for the heart. Find what makes you sing. Find the nameless in the city full of names and signs. You can give yourself the time to let time fly. Release yourself from the 3D linear time and go into synchronistic time. As I said last week, that time where you wait for the signs, you don't make your ego react and take the choices, make the calls, unless you really have to, because we still live in a 3D world. But whenever you're able to, listen to the signs instead of your mind. Listen to your heart. Listen to your higher self. Be quiet. Quiet your mind, so that you can hear your heartbeat. If you want to jump off the train and come to another level, time is now to find the stillness. Believe that you dare let go of your ego and listen to the needs of your higher self. Do you dare to become a servant for something bigger than the ego? Something that a part of you already know the road towards. Do you know what your call is? What is your call? Mercury retrograde is here to bring chaos and confusion to your winter holidays, they say. But not just that. It's also here to make you reconsider how you can communicate on another level with wisdom instead of the old patterns of communication. Benefits will come that exceeds the goals of finding peace once you dare to listen to your higher self. I swear to you, that journey is so much more beautiful than any journey your mind can imagine. Maybe you want you want to get out of a stressful life and into a peaceful life. Maybe you want mental clarity. Maybe you want to find this inner peace. But I tell you, if you allow yourself to find the right tools to get into your higher self, there's a prize that you will get far, far bigger than anything you can feed your ego with, something that will last. I found my way through following the signs of synchronicity for 20 years. I used meditation, I used yoga, I used kindness above it all. I felt many times, fell through, but I got up again and I continued to follow my dreams and my heart and inspire people towards kindness, towards their calling, towards the life that is natural for us to live in harmony and balance, in love and kindness, where joy lifts us up and cleans us, where we take responsibility in our relationships and live conscious relationships. But the choice is yours. You can make the difference around you, all around you, but you have to make the choice. The choice is yours. Every day, every time you speak to someone, every time you do anything, you can choose to be aware. You can choose to be in a meditative state or a 5D state where you feel that your body is just what do we say? We call hylster in Danish. What is it called in English? Just a shell. The soul is so much greater, wider, bigger, and wiser. Write me privately if you want me to find a meditational teacher for free, a free one somewhere near you, no matter where you live. If you want to try to use this tool that I have. There are many tools. As long as you follow your heart, then you know you're on the right path. Thank you. Arigatou gozaimasu, as we say in Japan. Don't follow trends, follow your heart. Hugs. Neptune retrograde is also this month, or this week actually, that it goes forward again after 5 months. November 25th, it turned forward, to move forward. And Neptune rules over spiritual evolution, over personal transformations and dreams. When it goes retrograde, it takes away delusions and makes room for realities in these areas. Neptune retrograde will have pushed you into doing things and getting real, rather than just spending your time thinking and dreaming about your future in the areas it has been touching in your life personally. Neptune retrograde clash with the effects of Mercury retrograde because they are in square, and also for the qualities of these two. During Mercury retrograde, we're encouraged to take things slow, think everything through, and reflect, revise, reconsider. Uranus, who we also have in retrograde, is all about change, so different from Neptune retrograde. Neptune retrograde gives us the energy to get things done. It's been a good idea to still take things slow during the last 5 months, to not don't do or say anything big without giving it a lot of consideration. The Mercury retrograde can mess with our ability to have serious conversations, to truly understand what people are trying to say to us. 3 times a year it goes retro, changing speed in its orbit around the sun, making it look like it moves backwards. This change affects us all here on Earth. Communication, movement, and technology issues. Any general feeling of confusion gets to come up. On November the 16th, Mercury went retrograde for the last time this year. So this will have an effect on all of us. And it's not bad at all. It's not only bad. Because, of course, I'm standing here in an airport and everything is delayed, and I'm in another plane because the other plane didn't come, and so many things. But at the same time, I have been solving so many communication issues. Mercury retrograde is about taking things slow. That's why delays come, and thinking and reflecting upon the past. So this period isn't the best time to make a life-changing decision or to start something new, although you might be feeling certain changes due to the Venus now forward and Mars out of his cycle. But seen from the Mercury aspect, it's a good time to go over things, question your motives, and look into your soul, speak with your higher self to see what you want to continue doing. Mercury retrograde gives us the opportunity to improve how we communicate our messages, our whole essence, and our energy vibrations to others. Reflecting and figuring out how to proceed with your life is a great way to end a year, a cycle, even though this year, or the new year, as we call it, isn't an astrological new year, because this is in Mars, where the astrological year cycle ends with Pisces, starts with Aries in the second part of March, and the latter part of March. But it's a really good starting point in getting a fresh start as we enter January, where Aries will also get back into his sign and start over new. Of course, Mercury retrograde will affect some more than others. Learning to walk again. Many signs have felt these times as learning to walk again, taking things slowly. I have heard 3 of my personal clients tell me these words during the last couple of weeks. I am learning to walk again. Not only learning to communicate all over, but to walk our talk. And physically, for me, with my knee operations, to walk again in a new way. Venus is in Libra, is moving forward. And until the 18th, she's still in her cycle. But she's finding balance. We are finding balance in our relationships. How is this going on for you? Now in December, we are going to have her in the sign of Scorpio once again. Interesting. Because this is another energy. She's at home here in Libra. But on the 2nd of December, she moves back into Scorpio to go very deep on a level where we will transform. Thank you.
There is this angel saying, I'm gonna find my way back home. The secret is love, he said. You've got to lift yourself up, try again. One day you will break through. What you long for will find you.
No sigas las tendencias, sino tu corazón.